Good morning, yes, and that is young Sindile, and look at the mist this morning rolling in from wherever it came from last night. We can hardly even see him from where we're sitting at the moment. It is just absolutely thick. Everything is got these light little drips on it, and it's difficult to see what's going on. Everything has this sort of muted softness about it, and I must be honest, it's been a very, very awesome morning so far. We've literally just left the camp and we've come out to Sindile to find him lying underneath the tree where his kill was in yesterday. For those of you just joining the show for the first time, this is a young male leopard whose life we've been following for the last 23 months, and part of the patchwork out here, really. And he's killed an impala. He killed an impala a couple of days ago, probably 2 or 3 days ago. Finished it yesterday, but is now just digesting the remnants of that, and seems to be unstressed, unfazed about anything here. There's no hyena here, even though there were hyena tracks coming down the road here this morning. They haven't found him or found the leftover bits and pieces of his kill just yet, and that would have chased this young male off. So he's just really taking it easy, making sure that he doesn't overexert himself or waste any of that important metabolic energy that he's stored up over the last couple of days. My gut feel tells me that he'll either get moving today, probably even this morning. He might go to some water. The closest water to here is Sydney's Dam, which is around about a mile away from here, for a drink, and then who knows where he'll go. There's every chance that he starts to disperse, as young males of his age will do, but he might also stick around. This is where he was born. He was born to a leopard whose territory is adjacent to where we're sitting just now, and he might stick around for another 6 months, who knows. Right now he's in that comfortable phase between being able to look after himself but not being old enough to become a threat to the dominant males of the area, and that's a good place to be in for him, because apart from just the day-to-day trials of trying to find enough food, trying to stay away from marauding hyena and lion, he's actually quite comfy with his, well, he's within earshot of his mother, at least anyway. He'll definitely know how to find her in the blink of an eye, as will she know how to find him. But he's got that youth coupled with enough experience to keep himself well fed, as the impala in the tree was testament to. And we have no doubt that this young male, named Sindile, the survivor, yeah, he will be fine. There we go, the thumb making an appearance this morning. For those of you who don't know, it is Brent Leo Smith's birthday today. So feel free to send through your birthday wishes to him, along with any questions and comments that you may have, to an email, questions@WildEarthTV, or using the hashtag Safari Live. I'm sure he'll appreciate all your well wishes this morning. And on that note, I think let's link over to the birthday boy himself. Let him say his good mornings. I don't quite know what Brent said there. It was very difficult to hear exactly what was said there. But yes, we have got young Sindile in the mist. I caught that little piece. And isn't that just a wonderful picture that we're seeing at the moment? The mist is still very thick. We're on a crest at the moment. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in the Mulwati. And I think as soon as the sun comes up, we're definitely going to take a drive out there and see what it looks like. He's lying on the sand, just super content with life. Eyes closed. That very relaxed posture. That's what we want to see from a leopard out here. Got these soft drips happening all around us from the leaves and the branches onto the sand and the leaf litter. It's just an absolutely phenomenal morning. Everything's muted, quiet and soft. It's a lovely morning. You can see he's not panting as much as he was yesterday. That is because his body would have worked through that impala relatively quickly, I must be honest. Leopard have got pretty high metabolisms. There's what's left of the impala. You can just see a leg, perhaps some meat still there. So I actually thought that it was all finished. I'm going to go and pick up my binoculars quickly and just have a look and see exactly what is left there. Okay, he's still got a little bit of meat actually. Not much, I must be honest. I didn't think that there was actually going to be that much left. His head is now up and he's looking at us. I don't think he... Those ears are just constantly working. And that's because... So Liz, you've asked if the mist will give some water to the animals to drink, a little bit more water to the animals. Unfortunately, no. I mean, water will cover some of the vegetation that they eat today, and that may help a little bit. But to be honest, not really that much. This mist is going to do virtually nothing. Things that do benefit from mist are all your smaller creatures, ants and spiders and beetles and millipedes and centipedes and so on and so forth. But with it being still fairly early in the season, there really isn't any chance of any of that sort of stuff making any meaningful difference. It really requires some of that early rain in September, coupled with the sand heating up and reaching the depths to where these animals are incubating at the moment, for them to wake up and for them to start becoming active. And I'm really only expecting insects to start appearing by October, perhaps. Look at that. We're literally about 25 yards from him currently, and that is the mist between us and him. That's how thick it is. Alright, we are being joined by another safari vehicle, so we may see a slight change in his behavior. He hasn't been that comfortable with safari vehicles that we've been noticing. And that is it's an observation that I've made based on me watching what he's doing. And let's see exactly what and how his behavior changes. I don't quite know if it's a positive or a negative thing just yet. There we go. Obviously not too phased about anything just yet. What we'll look for is any obvious changes in his posture. So far, nothing. No reaction. Ears slightly back, that's listening behind him. Something's making a noise there. Still no change at all. So leopard who have very negative reactions to people will get up and walk away, or change their posture and go onto their feet, onto their paws basically. Ears tight back and folded down. Let's see what he does here. No reaction whatsoever. So far, so good. And that's a good thing. I was hoping to see this particular type of behavior from him. Let's see exactly what happens here. He's still got some meat, so he's not going to go anywhere. He's busy looking at them. If there's one person that knows anything about leopard, that is Taxon, and that is who's just joined us right now. And that's no behavioral change whatsoever. We might as well have 50 cars around him. No, I'm joking. We'd only ever have 2, and that, if depending on his behavior, we could change that at any time. And no reaction, so all good. So we're going to send you over to Brent. He is driving around on his way to Cheetah Plains, as far as I know, and would like to give you an update. This young male leopard that we have lying on the floor here, just absolutely unconscious, basically. I'd like to say he's in a bit of a food coma at the moment. He hasn't twitched an ear for the last 2 or 3 minutes. You can just see, though, there's never really stopping the movement. Oh, I must be honest with you, I absolutely love looking at this spider. So Beth, you've asked me what we would use to identify this leopard if he didn't have a collar on. Beth, from this particular, so let's start at the beginning. You'd use the impression that you have of size and shape. So large, small, dewlap, no dewlap, any significant scarring, perhaps a limp, a particular kink in the tail, maybe raggedy ears, or some other main diagnostic feature. If that does, if you don't find any of that, you'd have to look for a spot pattern that is recognizable. And one of the most easily recognizable spot patterns lies on the bridge of the nose, just behind the actual nose. Let's see if we can get in a little bit tighter on his head. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. There on, I'm going to see if I can point it out with my finger. Let's see if I can bomb your shot. There we go. It's going to be a bit more. There. You'll notice his nose, and next to his nose, a black line on either side. Those are a series of spots, usually 2 to 4 spots on either side, and you would use the combination of the spots on the left-hand side and the combination of the spots on the right-hand side of his nose, and that is as individual as a fingerprint is. And we'd use that spot pattern on the side of the nose to diagnose, or to I suppose diagnose the name of this particular leopard, or who this is. Isn't that beautiful? You can see those whiskers twitching in the dream. Not really doing too much. I must be honest, the dripping is getting, there's a soft breeze blowing now. The mist is it is swirling around us. Let me come back and have a look at the spider. He's sort of picked up his activities here on the dashboard. This is just amazing. The spider's now licking the moisture off his legs. Oh, excuse me. Coming all the way out from the leopard.